All right, so now, Silos, go ahead. We gonna talk about West Coast College Quidditch, Quadball. My bad, Quadball. West Coast College Quadball. I said I was gonna cover it, so I'm gonna deliver. Silos, do me a favor, hit that fucking intro song, that West Coast beat by none other than Dre.
Everybody to the wild, wild west, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Like a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass envy. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and empty.
Okay, so let's talk about the Chandra Classic that happened on October 26th, 2024, which was like, what, 2 weeks ago? Probably like 3. It's been about 3 now, give or take. 2.5 maybe. So we had 4 teams arrive to the Chandra Classic in Westwood at the UCLA IM Field, right? We had Second Stars, the Lost Boys QC B team. We had UCLA, of course, the home team. We had Arizona State University, ASU, show up, and we had Cal Berkeley also come. Now, I want to go ahead and preface that this was primarily a development tournament, man. I mean, ASU showed up with 10, Cal showed up with 10, both rookie heavy, and UCLA had a full roster. Technically, they were also missing some players too. And Second Stars showed up. They had 10 total, but I think they never surpassed more than 8 or 9. They can correct me on that later on, but I think, yeah, they were basically running very, very few numbers. And I mean, granted, it was a college tournament, right? So, I mean, you don't want to bring your best, obviously, but, or not necessarily your best, but like, I mean, like, you don't want to be too stacked, I guess is what they were going for. Good, but not too good, because you're playing against college players, right? But still, so I wanted to shout out the Second Stars to kick this off. I just loved the way they were playing out there. A lot of trust, a lot of cohesion. Everybody was touching the ball, moving the ball. It was nice to see, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun to watch them play together, really trust each other. And I want to shout out Lindsey Simpson real quick for having an insane completion percentage. And I mean, I want to say it was 80%. At least on passes, man. That shit was crazy. And it was such a jump from WCQ. God, I can't even say it right. Is it WCQ still? I don't know. People call it WQC. I think it's WCQ. I don't know if it matters anymore. But WCQ, granted, the entire team at on the Aftershock team had trouble at WCQ. So, you know, that probably has more to do with it than anything else. But Lindsay's been working on that, on ball carryings for every single practice since the summer. So it's showing off here. She did great. I was very impressed because I'm very hard on ball carriers, top down, on everyone, including myself. And I love what I saw from Lindsay. Great job. Now, I want to also mention that I'll start with Cal, because Cal was very rookie heavy. They had a couple returners, mostly their captains, and then the rest were pretty much rookies. Now, I want to shout out their captain, Chloe Fu, for playing and leading like the veteran she is. It shows. And she had one play where she, had a sick drive. She takes it, and then she kind of starts driving, and then she hits like this windmill to get past one defender, and then finishes it with a dunk. And I was really impressed with that. It shows the confidence. And not only that, but she was, calling shots on the field. And there was one funny play where she's calling shots, off ball receivers or whatever it was. And then someone throws at the ball, and she kind of wasn't expecting it, so it kind of like, bounces aside, and she reacted fast, but like, it was a funny moment for the sideline to see, because like, she's over here calling shots, and then the ball gets thrown to her when I don't think she wanted the ball at that time. She was calling something else, but that was fun to see. So I love what I saw from Chloe, always playing confident. From what I can gather, it shows, okay? And I wanted to shout out number 1, who's name is Billy U. I think that's how you say his name. O-U. I would assume that's how you say it. I saw a lot of confidence, and I'm not surprised to see he's a returner. Very, very aggressive. He's a beater, and he was definitely showing out, giving the opposing beaters hell, essentially. I mean, I saw a lot of aggression, and he played with confidence, and you need to see that from a beater. And I said this before. I don't know much about Cal. Now I'm learning. I'm starting to learn. Okay. Like, I went out there to watch Chandra. I showed up in street clothes. I didn't play, so I just showed up to watch and come back and report on what I saw for Quadball Nation out here, for the country, right? So a lot of confidence from him. Now, one thing I will say is I would have, if I were Cal, I would have focused on having a strong defense because fact is you were out there with a lot of rookies, right? And I didn't see a real true driver, someone who can just muscle the ball in. So, it's hard to, Billy was out here making plays. There wasn't really nobody to finish him, right? So, focus on the defense because, there was a lot of half court action where, beat a world is what we call it, right? Beat a world. And, that's great, to make plays if you have someone that can capitalize them. And fact is, Cal was getting stopped by chasers because they needed more of a cohesive attack. That's all I would say about that. But I wanted to shout out Cal rookies number 42, Xing Chan, and 50, Sean Liu. I love the way they play together. It was actually fun to watch. I mean, for rookies, they played like I honestly couldn't tell. I thought that maybe they were returners because they just played really well. And specifically, Sean had a really cool play against Christian Kreger where Sean blocks Kreger's bludger, and then he had this look like, yeah, I just did that. And I was like, oh, I love that. That shit was dope.
Nice.
Okay, keep that shit up, Sean, okay? And that goes for Shing, too. I love what I saw from you guys. And that goes for all the Cal rookies, man. Y'all showed up and you played hard. Keep coming back, man. I promise you, it's a great community. You want to be a part of it, man. A lot of love out here. And it's gonna be fun, man. This is your family. If you come back, it will be. Just keep showing up, all right, and keep working. So next, I want to move on to UCLA. I wanted to shout out Aiden Perez and Matthew Wong. I love the way they play. I mean, I don't want to give out strats, but I mean, it's fun to see Aiden kind of just bring the ball up, and it's like UCLA knows what to do in terms of his receivers, specifically the connection with Matthew. It's like, Matthew knows, let me just post up over here, let me cut over here, and Aiden's going to give me the ball, or Aiden's going to run it himself. Aiden's a hit maker in terms of, defense and running the ball in. It's fun to see. And then wanted to shout out Valeria Guerra, also known as Vale, aka, right? I think Vale needs to get the ball more, man. And I'm not trying to diss nobody again. I'm not trying to call nobody out. But I think it's more of a call for Vale to get the ball more because not only is she a good receiver, great receiver, I'd say, she's also explosive. So, like, she catches the ball and she'll burn you, bro. It don't matter who you are. She'll going to burn you because a lot of people probably won't expect it. I realize now that I'm saying it on camera, it might tip people off. I don't know. But it's good to see. It's fun to see her play. And I'm going to get to play with her at Vegas. We're gonna go to Vegas for Royal Flush Rumble, and it's gonna be fun because props to Vale, man. I think you need to be used more on offense. Okay, so this is me saying it on fucking camera, I guess. Let's get Vale some more touches with the ball. I wanted to shout out Evan Matoro. I actually got to play with Evan on a fantasy. We went to Neverland Fantasy. I got to play with him, and I mean, I must have connected on passes with him on. I don't know if I ever missed. I'm not trying to gas me up, all right? Relax. I'm just saying I don't think I missed. But, and granted, Evan's a smart cutter. Like, I saw him and I was like, well, he's close enough to the hoop, man. Let me just give him the ball. And he was playing against club players, right? So it was a lot harder. People are a lot quicker to close out. But here, he actually scored a lot. I mean, I saw him score multiple times, right? So he was getting the ball. He's got hands. Okay, so because I'm telling you, he caught like 5 dimes of mine, just couldn't convert. But here he was converting. Okay, obviously he's playing against college students now. So shout out Evan, man. I told him if he keeps Neverland, I told him you keep coming back, man. You those are gonna be goals, and shit. A week later, they were fucking goals. So you know what I mean. So keep coming back, Evan, man. And you're gonna have fun. I can already tell. I think he actually came as the Joker. He painted his face as the Joker, so that was cool to see. So I don't know if he wants that as a nickname, but hey, he painted himself as the Joker that day. So let me move on to now. Oh, and Evan's actually an exchange student, so we're only gonna get to see him for 1 year, as far as I know. So that actually kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Now let me get over to ASU, Arizona State University. So I mean, if y'all heard me say it, I said it. I think they can make a finals run. And I ain't lying when I say that shit. Honestly, I mean, they didn't show up at full strength, so I still ain't see that shit. I want to make sure I clarify that. In fact, the core veterans that ASU sent were Brianna McLaughlin, Tanner Bonheimer, Amar Dillon, and Matt Gianvino, right? Then they had returners like Amber Lee, Jude Matthews, and Albert Richardson. And then the rest were rookies, of course. So, they only had 10, man. But, hey, man, those 10 put up a fight. I'm telling you right now. It was only 10, but they fought. So let me go ahead and shout out rookie Andrew Cooper, 66. They played him at every position, trying to figure out. He's a big dude. So, I say play him at chaser, but because we need size on at chaser. So he played all positions. And, once he figures out the game, he's going to be a problem. If ASU uses him right, it's a problem. Like, obviously, he's probably still figuring out how to hold the broom right? Because I remember that was the problem for me when I was in. You're gonna start making fun of the flying thing, aren't you? I could already see it in your face, Silos.
I was gonna say, so they actually use those flying brooms, bro, or
no, man.
Or they use a vacuum for speed.
Man, I don't know how many times I've had to tell people, no, we don't fly, like sarcastically, because people ask like sarcastically, but Andrew, man, once that guy figures the game out, man. What a problem. And then second year, Albert Richardson, another big guy. And they were actually both seeking. Both Andrew and Albert were both seeking. And that was dope to see. I actually told Albert, some tips because I'm a big seeker myself. So, Albert, I told you, you're going to have most advantages in terms of size and strength. So you got to use it. Use it. And it could be scary at seeker and at chaser because they're both big, both presences, right? If you use them right. So I'll be make sure to talk. I'm actually gonna probably hang out with Tyler Walker in Vegas. Tyler Walker's gonna come to Vegas. I'll make sure to run it by him. I got some ideas. So I'll make sure to run it by him. I don't think Tyler cares, but I'm just kidding. Tyler and I are good friends, but it's gonna be fun to see what these rookies, and obviously Albert's the second year, so to see what they do, right? So let me just go ahead and talk about Amar Dillon. It was my first look at ball carrier for me, at least, to see him at ball carrier. And he did well. He did really well. Because I mostly see him off ball. I think I saw him in the UTSA game kind of play off ball it was Austin. He played, I saw a lot of off ball movement from Austin to Amar, of course. We saw him at ball carrier. Very efficient. I like what I saw. Obviously very athletic, so he can get to the hoops and pass well. So I like what I saw there. Brianna and Tanner were, to me, the anchor of the defense. All I had to do was watch them, and it'll tell you exactly the results, whether or not they got scored on or not, depending on how Brianna and Tanner played. Now, let me just go ahead and hype up the ASU women that showed up to this tournament, man, because there were only 3 of them, man. Let me tell you right now. Only 3 of them. Brianna McLaughlin. Oh, God, I always mess up the name, man. Brianna McLaughlin, Amber Lee, and Jude Matthews, also known as Laserbeam, Laser for short. So when I asked Jude about the name, I asked her what her name is, and she answered Laserbeam. I was like, well, hold on. What you mean, Laserbeam? And then she told me, obviously, her name is Jude, but she goes by Laserbeam, which is a dope-ass name. But I was just confused because, you don't really hear that every day, right? These women are phenomenal, man. What can't they do? Let me go ahead and tell you what happened with Jude, right? Jude, I don't know what happened to her ankle, man, but all I know was she went down and she came at the end of the game. She had a big bag of ice wrapped on her ankle, and I was like, well, damn, I hope you're all right. And the next game she was playing, I was like, wait, what? that ankle I thought was done. No, she got back out there and she was playing. And similar thing with Brianna. She, a while back, she had a calf tear, and I heard that. I was like, calf tear? What the fuck? And you're playing already? I don't think it was that long ago. And she's out there, and she's not just playing, man. She's making hits. Brianna be making explosive plays out there. I'm talking about tackling everybody. Don't matter who you are. She's going to tackle you. Same thing goes for Amber, who I also saw both. I didn't know. I knew Brianna beat. She was a beater. But I didn't know she chased just as well as she beat, man. When she told me, she was like, yeah, I'm actually like a dope chaser. I was like, what? What you mean you do both? And because not everybody can do both, right? But, she's out there, and I saw her, I was like, yeah, she can do both. I'm telling you right now. And she don't just, like, play off ball. Nah, she ball carries, man. And I don't mean just ball carry. I mean driving through people and putting the goal in, man. Shit. I think there was one play where it kind of got scrapped. I mean, somebody dropped the ball, and she somehow comes up with the ball at the hoops and puts that shit in. I was like, all right, Brianna's the truth. All right, what can I say? So I'm giving the nickname to Brianna. I'm calling her General McLaughlin, the General for short. I don't think she has that name, but it's true because I mean, she fucking runs shit on ASU, man. I mean, if you watch her play, she's calling the shots off the sideline. She's calling shots. I mean, she runs it. She runs ASU, man. I'm here to tell the Quadball world that General McLaughlin, the General, is here. All right, Brianna McLaughlin, let the world know. As my co-host loves to say, remember their name. Go ahead, hit that shit for me. Go ahead, Silos.
Remember the name.
Brianna McLaughlin, the General, right there. That's the General. From here on out, at least. I mean, I already ran it by her. She says she loves it. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's the General right there, at least. But yeah, all three women are great. You know, I don't want to just talk about Brianna. Obviously, Jude already mentioned, great player too. None of them are scared to run that shit in themselves. They play fearless. They tackle everybody. I love to see it. And yeah, man. I mean, props to the ASU women, man. And apparently there are a lot more. They just are going to make it. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch the ASU program on top of, you know, the rest of the crew, obviously. But yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of the team. And hey, I think they're coming to HBI, so it's gonna be time to see exactly what they do at HBI. I hope they bring a full roster so I can finally fucking make the declaration that ASU will make a finals run. I hope I can hit that prediction. Obviously, I ain't gonna say it if I don't believe it. I don't lie on this podcast, despite what my co-host might say. Every single night, pretty much every single episode, he'll say I'm lying. But no, I don't lie. I'm telling the truth, regardless of what this man tries to accuse me of. I'm not a liar. So, but yeah, yeah, man, I love all this energy. Shout out to all the volunteers, Jess Sang, Ryan Smythe, for coming and volunteering their time as head referees. They don't get enough shout outs for that. Shout out Tyler Walker for putting in the time to just show up and coach ASU. I love the relationship he has with the team. Anything, you know, ASU might get upset at calls. They just look to Tyler, and Tyler's like, all right, what happened, you know? And I love that. I think Tyler might have refed. I don't know if he HR'd. I think I mean, he does. He does it all. I think he's coming to Vegas. So, again, double shout out for Tyler for showing up to Vegas just to head referee. I think that's what he's coming for. But, hey, I mean, volunteers don't get enough love in this sport, and it's about time somebody starts shouting them out. So shout out to all the volunteers in the sport, man. We couldn't do it without you. And I mean, you don't get enough love, man. I'm sorry. Personally, I'm gonna start snitching just to step up. You know, we need to improve the game, and I'm gonna start snitching as often as I can. Obviously, you know, only so much I can do, but I'm gonna try to help out, use my talents at snitch to help out. All right. So yeah, everyone, let's do our part. Let's volunteer to make the sport better. All right. But anyways, that's gonna cut it for the Quadball talk. Thank y'all for tuning in, because I know a lot of people are gonna tune in for this part. And we can move on. What's the last segment with NBA, right?